I'm wondering if I'm live. If it's yet live, I'm just holding on. I want to ensure that I am actually live, and then we can get started. Okay. Let me see if there's anybody on yet. If you're on yet, please give me a thumbs up, and let's start. Good evening. Can you hear me? Is my sound loud enough? My name is Ife. I'm the CEO of Plush Organics. We deal in Moringa majorly. I'm happy to have this conversation this evening, and I hope that you're also well ready. I'm going to be talking about Moringa in beauty products and the reviews on Moringa and its beauty products. So I'm going to start with introducing myself, what I do, how I got into Moringa, how Moringa has revolutionized my life, and what I do in the Moringa space. So my name is Ife Adeleke, as I said earlier. I'm the CEO of Plush Organics. I lecture at the university. I teach education, or I teach in the Department of Education. I teach professional studies, and basically I teach life skills. I teach ethics in teaching and things like that. And while teaching is my passion, Moringa is my calling. And I'm very big on beauty, So my husband and I started farming Moringa, and we didn't want to sell raw materials or sell off just Moringa. We wanted to add value to the Moringa, and so we started with Moringa tea. Now, before we started that, we had gone into a lot of research. I personally am a researcher, even in academia, so it was easy for me to start to research on Moringa. I mean, number one, I said to myself, Moringa can't just be all about the tea. I know that everybody on Africa Moringa Hub knows what Moringa does. We're all big on what it does health-wise. Well, I have delved more into the beauty space. I can't say more because obviously I have the wellness side of my business. My business name is Plush Organics, and even though we started a lot with the tea, the Moringa powder, the capsules, I've delved or moved on into the beauty space. Number one was I read what it could do on the skin, and I made a few notes today, so you're going to excuse me. I'm going to go into my notes and go read in the notes, and then I'll give you a review of what my clients have said about Moringa on their skin, what I have known myself, and things that I have seen, using Moringa. Number one, I would say that outside of the Moringa being exciting to take in and what it does health-wise, what it does for the skin is amazing, and I personally feel that one of the major issues with the African farmers is because we've not learned to package our products adequately or in a nice way to make a name for ourselves. I know that yes, it takes a lot of funding to get out there and keep pushing, but I did not want to be like the cocoa farmers in Côte d'Ivoire and Ivory Coast that would sell the raw material and it will end up being used by how do I put it, for a lack of better words, by the more advanced people or the big technocrats, and they would use it, and it comes with a big price. One of the things I did today was I started to research. I've done that over time, to see big companies that use Moringa. One of the things that sold me on Moringa Oil was when I discovered that a lot of companies, especially Estee Lauder, used Moringa Oil as their anti-aging ingredients in their products. And most times they didn't name it as Moringa, they named it as something else. They would, not something else, they would obviously put the botanical name. And most times when we buy products, we don't really read the ingredients, or we just look at it, and at times we just get lost in it. So basically, one of the things, excuse me, just a minute. One of the things I started to do was find a way to incorporate Moringa into my beauty product. I started with the soaps. I did not want to do anything that was chemical based, so I tried as much as possible to stay away from melt and pour soaps that I couldn't really talk about what was put in it. Just a minute. Hello? Yeah. I'm on live already. I'm on live already. Hello? I can hear you.
Yes, I said that your latest video was just like your team.
Wow.
Yes, I'm saying that your latest video was just like your team.
I've already logged in on live. I started on live. Can you see me?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
Are you started now?
Yes, I've started. I started already. I'm 6 minutes in.
Oh, okay. All right, sure.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to be sure that you're seeing me and you're hearing me. I have not gotten any reaction yet. If you're here, please drop a comment. Make a reaction. I need to be sure that you can hear me. So basically, another thing I did was I started to research. And while I researched, I ensured that Moringa, the effect of my Moringa, would show on the product. So the first thing I did was, when I had my last baby is going to be 5 in December, I only used Moringa on her as a baby, and I only ever had nappy rash once, and that was because she went to creche and did not change her until I picked her up. And I promise you, that night I put Moringa oil on her skin, and the next morning she was as fresh as ever. So I decided that Moringa was the way to go. Obviously, with a lot of research and all that, I know that we all know about what Moringa does on the skin, and what we can do with it. But at times, it's not only knowing, it's about putting it into practice. I'm going to show you a few of my products. In the past 2 weeks, since the beginning of the year, we've been working on new products, and we're launching next week. I'm just waiting for the labels and all that. The product is down, and we have 15 products already. We have 15 products on the shelves. Basically, we don't do one-on-one. We do more of retail. We sell to wholesalers or to retailers. We are wholesalers, and they resell it. The first thing I started to do was lip balms because of the oil. I will show you my lip balm and the packaging. Now, I didn't want to break it one. I have 5 variants of the lip balm. We have the orange. We have the peppermint. We have the chocolate. We have the raspberry and vanilla. And as I rolled out with 3 of the lip balm variants. Now I had done a lot of research, a lot of testing, a lot of things that had gone into it, but I was big on pushing the Moringa name. And a part of me did not realize that Moringa was big. The first big store I ever really saw Moringa as a beauty product was in the Body Shop. And at times we think that Moringa is a secret tucked away in the corner of Africa. I promise you it is not. I'm going to wow you with the list that I have today. I went researching on the big companies that use Moringa. I looked at their selling prices, I looked at their packages, and today I'm going to give you the names, the prices, and things like that. But I'm just going to show you what I've done with Moringa personally. I have the lip balm, I have my soaps. Now, one of the things I learned in this business is no matter how good your product is, if it's not well packaged, it becomes a big issue. Obviously, if it's not attractive, people would not be attracted to it. And one of the trainings I went for, one of the things that I was told was, no matter how fantastic your produce is, if you don't package it in a fantastic container, then it's going to be your best kept secret. Nobody's going to go for it. And over time, I began to realize that there are some companies that their packaging is more expensive than what is in the package. And I think that that's one of the things that have driven the big companies. I mean, they have access to funding and things like that. Now, I will talk about the reaction to Moringa as in the beauty product. I've had a lot of reviews. I've had a lot of people talk to me about how it has changed their skin. I have a client that told me recently that she's so much of a tomboy. She does not want to, put cleanser, then put deodorant, and then put whatever on the skin. She just wants a product that is touch and go. So basically what she does, she washes her face with my soap and uses Moringa oil on her face. I promise you, she had a bit of hyperpigmentation and acne scarring. Her face is so clear. And at times, because we work with Moringa, at times we think it's just in our face, we want to try this, we want to try something else, and we don't understand the value of what we have in our hands. At times we understand it, but we do not know how to present it, how to package it, how to get it out there. And I know that it is in the getting it out there that we begin to have a sense of reward from the work that we do. Lately, I've gone into, we've developed Moringa Deep Conditioner, we've developed Moringa Lotion, we've developed Moringa Hair Growth Oil, and things like that. And for me, it's the efficacy of the Moringa oil cannot be overemphasized. And I think that because we know that every part of the Moringa can be used, it's not been fully explored. There's avenue to explore it, there are researches to be done, and one of the things I think that as a community we need to fight for is to have a voice that pushes for more R&Ds. R&D being research and development. I read up on one of the companies that uses the Moringa protein extract for their facial moisturizer. How fantastic is that? Our body is majorly Moringa, majorly protein and water, and Moringa contains everything like that, and we need it there. For me, I've been using my Moringa oil for my hairline, My airline has been a major, my airline has been very thin on the temple for as long as I can remember. Probably since 20 something years ago, and it's been like that. But in recent times, I've come to think like, if you can develop something to make your airline grow, why not? So I started to research on it, on my moringa. I started to use my moringa on it, and believe it or not, it is growing. It has grown. It's still a little sparse, but you can see. And so for me, that's one of the things I have realized personally with moringa. I'm going to wow you a little bit with the companies that use moringa in their products and how much they sell it for, and then we'll continue this conversation. I made a list. The first one I saw is Body Shop, right? Body Shop makes moringa butter. They sell it for $21. They have the body mist. It goes for $18. They have the moringa facial soap and the moringa body wash. There is H2O Plus Beauty. They have the milk mousse plus oil body moisturizer. It sells for $14.40. It is moringa oil plus milk, teaspoon. That's all it is. Those two things. There is other site, moringa oil plus petitgrain. They use it for very dry skin. It's a very dry skin serum concentrate. It sells for $42. We have the E-Nature. It sells moringa cleansing balm for 16 rand. I'm sorry, I live in South Africa, so please forgive my making mistake and saying rand. They sell it for $16.10. And I can promise you, those money are exclusive of that. Okay, there's Osmosis. They make pressed powder base with moringa oil, so that the skin can be emollient with the moringa oil. Their powder sells for $44. That's moringa only in beauty products. We have the Emma Adi. It sells moringa cleansing balm for $60. We have the Yonka Pari. They have a Vital Defense. They are the ones that sell the facial cleanser. It's about 50 ml. It sells for $73. It is made with moringa peptides. Peptides are the protein in moringa. As we all know, moringa contains 25% protein. And you know how great protein is in and out. And in recent times, as we age, we've been advised, especially women, even men use it, been advised to use collagen. You need collagen both in and outside. Your body absorbs it. So what your body absorbs gets in faster and works. This is to help with the elasticity of the skin. This is what moringa oil does, or moringa peptide does, or moringa extract does. You can see why I emphasize on the research. At times we read, yes, but it would be nice if we have a place where sorry, it went off a little. I think I'm back. My laptop keeps going off. Let's hope it keeps in place now. Alright, we have the Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder trips me. Their products are very fine. And you can imagine that they use moringa in a lot of their products. And these products we're talking about are not cheap. Estee Lauder Revitalizing Supreme Plus Global Anti-Aging Cell Power. they use Moringa collagen and elastin. You know that Moringa contains gelatin, a very high form of plant collagen that regenerates the skin. You know, we read these things, we know these things, but at times we don't think about, how do I get this out? What do I need to do? What are the things that we need we can do to enhance what we have in our hands? I would say that Moringa is gold for the skin and for the hair. I personally try Moringa a lot with my children, with myself, and I've seen a lot of change and advancement even on my skin regime. Estee Lauder sells this revitalizing supreme global anti-aging cell power cream for $82. I'm thinking that next time I have a meet like this, I would have bought one or two of these products and show you. We have the Bot Bee stain lipstick. It goes for $9. It has Moringa oil. I'm trying to show you different things that is out there using Moringa. They're out there in the big market, and we're Moringa farmers. We can do things. We have the capacity in our hands to explore and explode with Moringa. Yes, we might have to use Moringa in collaboration with something else, but always remember that once your Moringa shines through, they will always see a difference and they will keep coming back. We have the Lush, they call it the magical Moringa facial moisturizer. Yes, some people say, oh, Moringa is not magical, but it is called the tree of life, and it's for a reason. It's because it is bursting with all the goodness of vitamin A and E, omega 3 and 3 and 6, with an extremely high level of protein. You know how much the skin loves protein. We have the Shu Umera Urban Moisture Hydro Nourishing for dry skin treatment. It sells for $68. They use Moringa leaf extract in it. What the leaf extract does is it keeps moisture, it puts moisture in the air, and it keeps pollutants out. Remember that it helps with the free radicals, and it's an anti-pollutant, the Moringa, right? It helps the hair. Basically, it keeps the hair cells alive, or it rejuvenates them. We have the Estee Lauder cleansing balm. It sells for $16. We have the Chi Argan Oil plus Moringa. They use Argan Oil plus Moringa. That's the two things they use. It sells for $23. This thing's about 100 mils. This is what we have in our hands and what we can do with Moringa, apart from packaging our powder to sell our. This is not talking down on those who do packaging of the powder and all that. No, if you're interested, if that is what you're interested in, by all means, it's fantastic. But if you want to take it a step further, please by all means do. Okay, but I have had fantastic reviews. I have had great feel with the Moringa. I've had people call me, talk about the Moringa. I have the Moringa Beard Oil, and it's one of my top sellers. I have the Moringa Detox Bar. It's also one of my top sellers. I personally had some breakout on my face like 2 weeks ago. Basically, I stuck with my Detox Bar and my Moringa Oil, and I'm as good as new. At night, I throw on my Moringa Oil, and I'm good. We have what else do we have? We have the Clarins. Now, this is one product I have seen and I have tried it out because I wanted to see, okay, what's the difference? For me, when I do my research, I try and see what the other companies are doing, how they're doing it. I know that it takes research, they work in the lab, they do extract, they do trials and all that. And I, being a farmer and being a small entrepreneur, in my own right, pushing in the beauty industry, I want to ensure that I'm above reproach, and I'm trying as much as possible to climb the ladder to reach up there. So I do a lot of research, I buy their product, I look at it, I dissect it, I read up on it, I mix things in the house before I speak to my scientist or I speak to my formulator. I formulate it, I try it out, I put it out there. And I've seen that the Clarence one step gentle exfoliating cleanser with orange extract is very fantastic. But for me, what is most fantastic about it is the fact that they use moringa seed extract in their cleansing oil. Sorry, in their cleansing, what do you call it? It's like a cleanser. It's like almost like micellar water. I don't know if you know what micellar water is. It's like this cleansing water. It doesn't foam. We have moringa seed. Most times, the only thing we use it for is to extract the oil. But I promise you, there is so much more to do with these things. We've not really even delved into beauty from the moringa, what do you call it? The moringa root. The root is rich in sulfur. Do you realize how fantastic sulfur is for the skin? The body itself produces sulfur, but as people age, the production drops. The hair needs sulfur to grow as much as it needs silica. It's also like a form of protein that binds with the hair, makes it grow thicker, longer, and stronger. And these are the things I look at in beauty while I sit down, do my formulations, do my research, write my papers that I never publish. I try as much as possible to know what's the trend in the moringa world. I know that there are people out there pushing their business and all that, and I would really like to encourage that if you're in the beauty space, please experiment with your moringa oils, experiment with moringa extract, experiment for people that are strictly natural, or if you have like homeopathic doctors in here that make products for people who are very preservative averse. Do you know that the moringa extract is an antioxidant? So it preserves oil, it preserves product at least for a while. Almost like the rosemary extract. Because the rosemary extract is very well known, we do not realize how big our moringa that we have in our hands are. This I made with, this is my body lotion. It's a brightening body lotion. It contains the moringa sulfur, it contains the moringa extract, it contains the moringa oil. It brightens the skin, evens out the hyperpigmentation. It suits skin issues like eczema, and dry skin and things like that. But all this came from sitting down and researching and reading up and trying. At times we look at companies that are big and make big products. We look at them and we tend to think surely we would go with them because they're bigger. But we as moringa farmers or moringa producers or moringa product makers, we must push to get our name in the forefront of this industry. We must carve a niche for ourselves, so much that when we meet, we'll be known for what we do with moringa. I would like to ask if anybody would like to ask any question. If you would like to ask questions, I'm willing to answer. I'm open to questions. I'm open to your reviews, your to what you would like to say. I am still waiting before I start to log out, and I'm going to save the video. For those that have not watched, I would hope that you go back and watch. If you have questions, you can email, you can ask on the forum. I'm open to answering questions. It's exciting to be here this evening, and it's a nice one. I like to talk a lot, so I'm not going to try and talk too much. If in that case, if we don't have any questions, I'm going to log out. Do have a good evening. I hope this session has been informative and has been interesting. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye.